Hello YouTube, this is Almagent here, bringing you my trailer analysis video for the recently released trailer for the upcoming Treyarch DLC for Black Ops 2, Mob of the Dead. Obviously this is the zombie map, that's the only part I care about. Multiplayer maps look good, but that's the only bit I really care about and would bother making a video on. Anyway, cheers. So, first scene here. Looks pretty self-explanatory, but I'll explain it anyway because that's why you're watching this video. This seems to be one of the new special zombies of the map pack. He's very smartly dressed, unlike the rest of the zombies that are wrapped up in barbed wire and bloody and all that. He's very sharply dressed, so I think he's going to be a special zombie, and most likely he's going to be the prison warden by his badge and the fact that that's about the only character in a prison you'd associate with being turned into a special zombie. Aside from that, we can notice from this one first that the zombies have red eyes. Now, in past zombies maps, orange always signified Samantha controlled the zombies, blue signified Richtofen controlled the zombies, red, it's unknown. We don't know what red means, but most likely it's like the default zombie eye colour, because when you think about reds, it's sort of scary and default colour for zombies' eyes, I guess. Could be someone else controlling them, but I think this is just the default if zombies were to not be controlled. It's like, you have to remember, you know, this takes place as the guy said, in the 1920s, 1930s. That's before Samantha entered the pyramid, so no one's in control of the zombies at this point. Anyway, moving on to the next section. So this looks like it's going to be the main core of the map, probably at the centerpiece of the main prison area. And you can see this just signifies the design ethos of Mob of the Dead. It's a very scary looking map. There's blood everywhere, there's hooks everywhere, there's canes everywhere, there's destruction everywhere, there's blood everywhere, there's body bags everywhere. Lots of nasty stuff everywhere. And for a zombie map, it looks pretty good, I have to say. Aside from that, it just shows us sort of the layout of the map is like a cross section across the main corridor going into the other part. It's called Broadway. Aside from that, you can actually see here, as the camera's doing its swingy thing about, that the gun on the wall, it's an Olympia, so that's the starting room. That particular room there is the starting room, which I think is a smart choice because it's close to the main core of the map, so you can get into the main part of the map very quickly, but there's also large windows so you can look out across the map to get a good impression of it. Similar to Die Rise, where there's the big chunk missing out of the building, so you can look at the whole map right from the start. So I think that's going to be the starting room of Mob of the Dead. Next scene here.
And change the vibe. We're embracing this idea of horror thriller.
Now, the first thing I have to say about this is that Treyarch must be doing very well for themselves, because that's a nice iPad tablet thing to go and watch zombies on. You know, you can take and watch your projects on the go. Very nice, Treyarch. Good way to spend money. But anyway, to the actual what it is, it's just some raw footage of someone being pinned up against a wall by the zombies. So this would indicate that there's going to be an intro-outro movie to the level, similar to Call of the Dead, where they had the whole fighting scene in the intro and the outro. Now the question is, who would that guy who's getting pinned to the wall be pinned by? Is that one of the characters, or is that just a generic randomer that we won't see again after the movie? You know, and if it is the characters, would that be in the outro movie, or would it be in the intro movie? Interesting. And then there's the next bit. This is the sort of partially animated bit of someone getting swarmed by zombies. And this guy looks quite similar to one of the characters, so I'm not sure what this means. It either means the outro cutscene will be different for the intro one to show how your characters get swarmed and die, which would make their deaths canon, or would it be like Die Rise, where in the starting intro scene all the characters die but then get respawned into the map? Either sides could work, but I sort of have a feeling that it's going to be the same one. Treyarch must like killing characters to sort of explain the story a bit, so I think it'll be interesting. Anyway, moving on to the next scene. Now, if you freeze frame here, there's a very brief glimpse of what appears to be a teddy bear in its cell. Now, I don't know if it's just me, but this doesn't look like part of the map. This looks like a real world location, like Treyarch has taken a prison cell, maybe when they were visiting Alcatraz to map out this map, and just stuck a teddy bear in it. I'm not sure, it could be part of the map, But leave your feedback. Is that a real place or is that an animated place? I can't say for sure. And with Call of Duty, that's a rare thing. Also, in this wide part of the map, we can see that the random box light is red, or orange, I guess you could say either, sort of matching the zombies' eyes. And of course, this isn't actually the first time the random box's light has changed, because can't remember what it was in Vert, but in Shino Numa it was a green-yellow colour before turning into the default blue for every single map since. So, you know, I'm not sure if there's any storyline implications to this light, but it is different, so I guess something to notice. Also, the atmosphere of the map. It's very dark, it's very foggy, lots of lightning going everywhere. Pretty similar to Call of the Dead, apart from the dark part. But yeah, this is a very atmospheric map, very dark, very moody. So it's going to be reinforcing this sort of scary part of it. Anyway, on to the next bit.
Our nations. We can start playing with the history there. So you've got like the 1920s going into the 1930s.
So here we can see the lighthouse, which could probably play a role in this map. Maybe not the one I had in Call of the Dead, we're pointing out where the pack-a-punch machine goes, but the lighthouse still could be important, possibly part of the Easter egg, I guess. But when the map's foggy like this, the lighthouse could be a very useful tool to play. Maybe, for example, like it always points to where the special zombie is to help you find him and track him down. There's also a piece of what appears to be the zombie shield from Transit lying around the trolley part. So could that mean that the old crafting object be returning in this map? Like it's the same item in a different map? Or is it just a part of the atmosphere? You know, you can't say for sure from this one shot, but I'm just going to put my money on it. Not actually any money, but I'm just going to say I think that's going to be the zombie shield there. Also, main part of this part, that makes sense, it does, doesn't it? Yes. Anyway, the Tommy gun as a weapon. Now I think that looks pretty good. It fits right in with the time period. It looks badass, I have to say. I'm really looking forward to getting that and spraying it around these zombies. And also, if you can look behind the awesomeness that is the Tommy gun, there is some writing on the wall in blood, not the usual chalk, similar to Vert where there's a lot of stuff on it. You know, guess reinforcing the sort of scary atmosphere of the map.
It's you only see in that time period. That's what led us to getting guys like...
Here we can see a cinematic of the characters. It looks like it's part of the opening scene, where you can see the zombies emerging from the cells. So yeah, this is just part of the opening scene that they put in the trailer to help with the cinematics. Then we move on to the individual characters.
And those characters make this Mob of the Dead.
So this is the first character, Ray Liotta, and his part is definitely the most interesting. The first we can see is that he's firing an LSAT, meaning it returns from Nuketown zombies into this map. Also, when he kills a zombie, the death animation is really weird. I'm not sure if that means new zombie animations are being introduced or there's just some really ragdoll effects. And aside from that, we can see in the background of this shot, there is a hellhound on fire, and it looks really menacing. Now, I have to say, this looks really terrifying. Obviously, the hellhounds were last seen in Green Run, the sort of survival, and they were sort of option in. And it also means they're fighting alongside the zombies again, because we see the two in the same shot, and that only happened in Deriz, I think, was the only map that ever had that feature in. So that is pretty interesting. Not exactly say I could be looking forward to it, but it's interesting, yeah. So this next character, Kaz Palmentary, and he's firing the Uzi, so this returned from the Black Ops 2 campaign. I looked at it a bit in my Blast from the Past series, and it's a bit odd that it's in here, because the Uzi isn't a gun that was in that time period anyway. It's like a Cold War weapon, but I guess Trek just wanted to throw it in there anyway, because it looks old-fashioned. But yeah, so Uzi in the map, not complaining, and yeah, so he looks quite interesting. So this is the character Joe Basiliana. Now, I have to say, there's nothing unique about his part of it, but I think he looks my personal favourite, and he's the guy I want to play as, if we got a choice, but we won't, as we never do. But he looks my favourite of the four. And nothing much more to say from this bit, so let's move on to the final character. So this is Michael Madsen, and yeah, that's pretty much all there is to say about him. Moving on.
This robust zombies experience.
And so in this final bit, we can see under the watchtower, there's the symbol of an eye scrawled on it in white chalk, similar to all the other signs to the power and stuff like that, which signifies that the watchtower is going to play an important part of Mob of the Dead. Not exactly sure how it's going to play an important part in it, but maybe there's Bible snipers, maybe it's part of the Easter egg, maybe it's a part where zombies have a hard time getting to and it's a good place to hold out. Whatever it is, when I'm playing through this mod the first time, I'll definitely be making my way to the watchtower. And that's about it. So that's all I could find in the trailer summary. This looks like it's going to be a downright awesome map. Really looking forward to playing it. I'll be bringing you lots of videos in the future about all of my crazy ideas for this map and what they could do with it. But until next time, this has been Agent. I'll thank you very much for watching this video, and goodbye.